Hello, my name is Delilah Cordova, visibility creator here at Omnipresence Studios. We expose the world to our interviewees' unique products, services, and books, and we also help in their journey to go from undiscoverable to visible in a digital world. I am currently on a mission to conduct 100 author interviews, and we're talking about all things books, from publishing to new authors, and don't forget marketing. I would like to welcome you to our show, Marketing and Coffee, where authors come to get inspired and experience. Hey authors, you finished your manuscript. What do you do next? If you would like to learn more about being featured on my show, go to marketingandcoffee.com. And without further ado, meet our next awesome author. Hey everybody, it's Delilah Cordova here with another episode of Marketing and Coffee. And I'm so excited because today I have with me another awesome author who wrote the children's book, Lily, and oh my goodness, I messed it up already. Anyway, the author's name is Ehlers, and he is a children's book author. And his book is a children's book called Lily and Luther. You know what? I'm going to bring you on because I already messed up the whole intro.
It's Monday.
It is. I think I'm out of practice, and but I do apologize. I'm gonna let you go ahead and explain your book and about you as an author.
Well, thank you very much. I do have my coffee with me, so for Marketing and Coffee. Thank you so much for having me on, and I really appreciate your efforts to bring authors out in this campaign of interviewing 100 authors. Thank you so much.
And the book, I got the book name Lily and Lucy, an Easter Story.
As a matter of fact, I've got it right here, Lily and Lucy.
You should have held it up when I was trying to do my cool intro.
It's all good. It is a children's book, and it is a true story about how my dogs, Max and Tucker, who are 6-year-old Australian Shepherds, and you may hear them bark and they may show up at some point, but how they helped rescue 2 dogs that were abandoned in the woods of Northern Virginia, not far from our house. We go out to the woods all the time looking for really cool things and just to go swimming in the river. And this one day, as we were driving down the dirt road, I saw these 2 little puppies, and they were just running around in the woods all by themselves. So we slowed down. I stopped and got out, and the little black puppy, she ran up to me right away. The little white one wanted nothing to do with me whatsoever. And so this is the story of how Max and Tucker helped herd this little white puppy so we could catch her and bring her home. We fostered her for several weeks, and then a friend of ours helped foster them. And then we found a forever home for these 2 puppies. And they live in Maryland, not far from where we currently live. And they are just loved to pieces. They get matching rhinestone collars and matching sweaters. And we formed a partnership with Lost Dog and Cat Rescue Foundation. And we donate proceeds to this organization so that they can help find homes for abandoned animals.
You know, that's really awesome how you have all that going on. So you want to tell them more about the Rescue Foundation?
Sure. Lost Dog and Cat Rescue Foundation is a nonprofit animal rescue organization saving the lives of thousands of homeless and abandoned pets each year. They rescue dogs and cats facing euthanasia in overcrowded shelters, and they place them up for adoption in loving homes. and it is a organization that we go out frequently with and do book signings at pet adoption events at various PetSmarts in our area.
That's awesome. So your book is helping a cause while it's also teaching children at the same time.
Yeah, we have a saying that I'm not sure who originally said it, but those that we save really save us.
Right.
It's been, now this story took place April 5th, 2015. So it's been a couple of years now. And the person that helped us foster the animals, Peter Murphy, he was a great friend to the family. We found the puppies April. Peter helped foster them through May and June, and then Peter passed away in July. So this book was dedicated in Peter Murphy's memory, and he was a big supporter of Lost Dog and Cat Rescue Foundation. That's how we formed the partnership with them.
Oh, wow. So is he in any part of your book? Did you?
He is. There's an illustration of Peter.
That's cool.
And at the end of the book, we put in real life pictures. I'm sure it's hard to see, but there's the Peter in real life. And Max, Tucker, and Lily and Lucy, all real pictures in the back of the book.
That's awesome. So then with that, the illustration, let's talk about the illustration of your book and give a shout out to your illustrator, huh?
Yeah, Emily Pasquale. She is a student at Virginia Commonwealth University. Her parents, our families, have been good friends for many years, 10 years or more. So we've known Emily since she was a little girl. She's been very much interested in art, and she's attending VCU for graphic design, artistry, sculpting, painting. And when I had this idea for an illustrated children's book, I asked her if she wanted to participate. And she was just going into college at that point, and she decided to illustrate the book. And when it came out, she was so excited that she said, "It's been my lifelong dream to illustrate a children's book." I said, "Yeah, it only took you 18 years. It took me 40 something years." So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, but she is going to be a senior this coming year, and she's already working on our second book, which is due out this summer.
Oh, wow. So you only got about a month and a half before another book launch, eh?
We hope so. Emily was finishing up school, and so she had to do all her schoolwork before she could put efforts into our second book. And the manuscript is done, and it's with the illustrations right now. And we've got the sketches done, and we've just got to put finishing touches on it, hopefully.
Okay. So you want to show them that book one more time, and show me your favorite page in the book that she illustrated for you. I'm going to make the screen big. 1 second. There you go.
So this is Lily and Lucy, an Easter story. And my favorite illustration in the book So we brought Lily and Lucy. At the time, we didn't know what their names were. Obviously, somebody had abandoned these animals out in the woods, and it was just heartbreaking to think about. So we brought them home and gave them a bath, and they were playing in our house with, that's my daughter, Hannah, and my young son, Eli. And when you ask Eli when he's out helping with pet adoption events, he says, "I'm on page 31. I can sign that page for you if you'd like."
Yeah, he's gonna get some of that credit, isn't he? That's cute. So yeah, we have a few people joining us, and it's awesome to see you guys today. We have John Boltman, and he's saying that he is loving the hat.
Thanks, John. This is I've got several different hats, but this one is my favorite. I've had it for, I can't even tell you how many years, but I've got to wear a hat because I'm completely bald and I need something to keep the sun off. And with the hat, I've got a barn owl feather.
Oh, wow.
Found in the woods, and a turkey feather.
Neat. And then where are you from again?
I'm from New York originally. I was born and raised on Long Island, but I currently live in Northern Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C., about 25 miles west and south, in a place called Clifton, Virginia.
Okay. I'm be going to Virginia Beach next month.
Oh, well, good. We're about 2.5, 3 hours from Virginia Beach, but it's still the same state.
Yeah. Why not? And then we also have Eric Gomez York. I hope I said that right, Eric. I am butchering names today. He says, congratulations for the book. And he says, this is a nice interview. Thanks, Eric, for tuning in. And John Boltman, he came back. He said, me too. So, yeah. What inspired or motivated you to write? And what are you expecting your reader to learn from your material?
I've always been passionate about reading and literature. I've always had an affinity for the written word. I've enjoyed writing in high school and college, but you wind up in a corporate world, you got to pay bills, and so it kind of fell by the wayside. When this adventure happened to us, this true story, and then Peter, who is such an important part of it, and just a wonderful friend to us, when he passed away, he was the inspiration to write this story down and contribute to a cause that he was passionate about, which became our passion, which was helping animals that people have carelessly or callously thrown away. And I'm trying to spread the word, rehome, don't reject. Rehome your pets. Even if you can't care for them anymore, there are options. Craigslist, shelters, PetSmart, organizations, friends.
Right.
You can find another home. Don't just throw them out in the woods. They deserve better. Right.
They do. And, it kills me how, people look at pets or animals and like they're just things, not like they're living, breathing, they're, I don't understand that concept, like, oh, I'm going to buy them a puppy for Christmas. Oh, a puppy doesn't do what we expect. So let's get rid of puppy. That's not, animals, like they have feelings and everything as well, and just like us as humans,
It's horrible to think that somebody took these animals and dumped them. So there's a part of the story where we're looking for these animals. There's a log cabin up on the hill, and I had to go on their property to help to try and catch these little puppies. And so I knocked on the door, and this lady had answered, and she's illustrated in the book. And I got to know Tina. It's really hard to see, I'm sure. Tina has.
Let me make it bigger so you can do it again. Here you go.
So Tina She built that log cabin by hand with her husband in 1948, and she's
Whoa.
still.
Wow.
And so we went to ask her if we could be on her property. She said, sure, no problem. And that over the years, a number of animals had been abandoned in that area. So she has taken many of them in, and she's helped foster some and get them to other homes. But it's tragic to think that people will do that when there's so many other options available to them.
So, while we're talking about those options, is there any helplines or websites or what? I know you mentioned a few alternatives earlier as a part of like rehoming, but is there kind of like a thing in maybe everybody's city that they can look for if they feel that they don't need or they can't take care of their pet anymore, and
So yeah, there are hundreds and thousands of organizations. Lost Dog and Cat Rescue Foundation happens to be the one in our area. But if you simply search on the internet, pet adoption or pet rehome, a number of local options will come up. You can also look to your local municipality. Counties have shelters. Unfortunately, you have to be on the lookout. Some shelters do euthanize animals if they're there too long. So you want to look for no-kill shelters. You want to look for shelters that will find a home no matter what. And Lost Dog and Cat Rescue Foundation is one such.
Right. Okay, that's great. That's great for people to know. Eric, he's saying it's a great nugget. Just don't throw your pets away. It's a powerful message, and it is indeed a powerful message. Hopefully, that will encourage change in children and for the future to come.
Well,
so it's great.
We we go to local schools and libraries, and we do story times and give out books and try and teach children the importance of taking care of their animals and their pets, and that the opportunities that exist to rehome your pet.
Right. All right. So then my next question is, can you tell me more about the school and library programs that you have available or participated in?
So we live in Fairfax County, Virginia, and we have participated in several programs with the Chantilly Public Library. I have an upcoming one at Centerville Public Library. And basically, I bring Max and Tucker along, and we do a 30 to 45-minute presentation on some local history. This all started because we go to the woods all the time. Max and Tucker love to swim in the creeks, and I love walking around the woods, finding interesting things like turkey feathers and barn owl feathers. But we find a lot of history. This region was inhabited by the Dogue Indian tribe thousands of years ago, and they've left pieces of their history for us to find. I wasn't smart enough to bring something to show, but we have some tools and spear points and arrowheads from the Dogue Indian tribe. This area was very active during the American Civil War, and we've found a number of pieces dating back to the mid-1800s, the early 1900s. So I bring a lot of these artifacts to the schools and the libraries, and we do a little presentation on local history and local nature. And then we talk a little bit about Lily and Lucy and rehoming pets. And then we play and let the children pet Max and Tucker.
Wow. And then I bet the your puppies, you talk about taking them to the woods and letting them run around. I bet that's tons of fun.
Yes. Well, if you check out on Instagram, the handle is Max underscore the letter N underscore Tucker, Max and Tucker. You'll see all the photos of the things we do in the woods. It's an adventure.
Right. Said Max underscore in underscore Tucker.
Yep. I don't know if you can read that.
Oh, there you go. I'm going to go ahead and show it up here. There you go.
There you go.
So, yeah, awesome.
Twitter under the same name.
So, so these Max and Tucker are, as you said here, tell me about the therapy dogs.
So, when we first started getting involved with this, a number of places had asked if Max and Tucker were registered as therapy dogs, because we go to assisted living facilities, places with people that have special abilities, and do presentations there as well. In some of the...
Switch to the LG G7, thank you.
I don't know what that was. So in a number of these places, they asked that the dogs are registered as therapy dogs. So we looked into the program, and earlier this year, Max and Tucker were registered as fully registered therapy dogs with Alliance of Therapy Dogs. What that means is they have a certain level of training, and they have been verified that they have that training so that they could go in and provide comfort, enjoyment, amusement for people that might not otherwise get to see these dogs. So they have special little vests that say "Ask to pet me, I'm a therapy dog," and we have myself, my daughter Hannah, and my wife Lisa all got certified as handlers for therapy dogs as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you want to tell us a little bit more about your upcoming book?
I do. So coming this summer is...
1 second, let me make it big. There you go.
Dear Oh Dear, a Max and Tucker adventure.
You don't need the latest phone to get that blurred background effect.
This is the true story of how Max and Tucker helped rescue a deer that was stranded in...
The easiest way, use Instagram to take your shot. Make sure your app is up to date. And
I don't know if that's you or me.
Is there a window open in the back on you?
I'm going to try and close something out. Sorry about that.
Well, anyway, guys, yeah, go ahead and check that. If you guys are just now watching, make sure you hashtag replay. If you are just getting on, make sure you ask your questions. We are happy to answer any of them that you may have for the author or for myself. And everybody, as you know, I have in the post where you can go and get Ed Ehlers' book. So make sure you go and check that out. And then also, there's Max and Tucker. Hashtag author supporting authors. Yeah, and if you are enjoying this broadcast, make sure that you share this with your friends and family and however else to help the author to get his book out there. So, yeah. All right, Ed, you ready?
So, everything that can go wrong today is going wrong. So,
I know, right?
But we'll power through. We'll power through. I was saying that Dear Oh Dear, a Max and Tucker adventure. It's the true story of how Max and Tucker helped rescue 2 dogs that were abandoned in the woods of Northern Virginia. Sorry. Helped rescue a deer that was stranded. I'm getting my books confused now because I got the dogs barking in the background. So we were headed out to the woods and we went down to Pope's Head Creek, which is an offshoot of Bull Run River. And it was after some severe storms had come through the river, through the area. Now, I'm sure you've seen along creeks the way the water erodes from around the base of a tree, and you have these large roots that are sticking out. What had happened was this deer had got washed up onto the roots, and she couldn't get herself out. Max and Tucker found her, pointed her out to me, and helped get me to where I could reach this deer. I was worried that an animal trapped like that would be dangerous, and deers have very sharp hooves. So Max actually helped lead me around behind this deer, and I was able to get her up and lifted her up and off and carried her onto the bank and set her down. Max and Tucker watched over her for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes until she was ready. Then she got up and walked away. And we wrote this story up, and we formed a partnership with the Wildlife Rescue League, which is a nonprofit organization here in Northern Virginia who specializes in helping hurt wildlife animals and nursing them back to health and getting them back to their families in the woods. So proceeds of the sale of 0 deer are donated to Wildlife Rescue League, and Emily is feverishly working on the illustrations so we can get it published this summer.
Beautiful. That's awesome. So you're going to update us on my business page so when this comes up available, right?
Absolutely.
You better. So at the moment, since you have that book, do you have any other unpublished or half-finished works coming out too?
So I have a number of ideas that I have started taking notes on. And believe it or not, I actually have a poem that was published when I was in college. It was a long, long time ago. It wasn't a very big poem, but it still was published. And I am considering a third Max and Tucker book, which will talk about therapy dog visits and how we go to these various facilities and just visit with people.
Nice. So what other authors are you friends with, and how do they help you to become a better writer?
So 2 local people here in Northern Virginia, Michael Thompson, and David Fulcher. Fulch and I go back a number of years. We actually played ice hockey together, and he was an author long before I was an author. He had written a number of books, very Twilight Zone-esque type books. And it was through my relationship with him that he's helped point me in the right direction as far as marketing, getting the word out, and really just living the dream you're passionate about. So I thank David Fulcher for that, or Fulch as I like to call him. And Michael Thompson, he's a young man, a young author. We became acquainted at a Barnes and Noble open house where we were both book signing authors, and he wrote a book called The World of the Orb, and that book, and just his youthful, passionate passion for writing has really helped spark my passion to continue to do this. He's got the advantage of starting much earlier in his career than I did. I wish I had the courage that he has in pursuing his dream.
Right. That's awesome. So yeah, we are heading at the end of our interview. And can you let everybody know how they can find you? If you guys do not see, I've already listed here in the bottom of the screen where you can go and get a copy of his book, Lily and Lucy and Easter. So go ahead and let them know.
So you can find Lily and Lucy on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. It's also available as a ebook. You can find me at Amazon Author Central under Ed Ehlers. You can find me on Goodreads and Author's Den. And more importantly, you can find Max and Tucker at Max_N_Tucker on Instagram and Twitter, because they are much more entertaining than I am. And do you want me to see if I can get Max and Tucker in here?
Yeah, that would be great. Bring in the stars. Yes, Eric, it's important to follow your passion. Life is short. Yes. Thank you for sharing, Eric.
Up.
Oh, he's cute. Hold on, let me make the screen bigger.
Here, Tucker.
That's
Up. There's Tucker. Oh, let's see if we can turn you around. There he is.
Oh, they're so pretty.
Good boy.
Oh, they're big fluff balls.
Oh, they are. That's the one drawback of these guys. Hair everywhere, all the time. Come here, Maxie. Another kiss. Up. Kisses. Good boy.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, these guys are awesome. And they're so different. They're brothers. They're 6-year-old brothers, but their personalities are completely different. Hush, Maxie. Here. Max is happy all the time. He's always got a smile on his face. Tucker's a little Eeyore. He gets a little sad sometimes, but Max is a swimmer. Tucker's a climber. But they are the sweetest, most precious dogs, and they've been together ever since they were born. So they sleep together, they share their food, and they lick each other's faces like cats.
Oh, that's so cute. So yeah. So the main messages today: make sure if you have an animal that you want to make sure that you get them to the right place where they can get the right care that they need. If you're planning to get rid of an animal, don't dump. Make sure you find a nice shelter to get them to. And ultimately, get involved with what Ed Healer is doing here. Purchase his book and read it to your children. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show today, even though we had a rough start.
That's okay. I thank you for having me.
Yes. Anytime. And you guys make sure that, like I said, if you caught the replay, #replay, I really encourage that you guys do this. If you have questions, I will always be around to monitor them. And if there are questions for the author and you're just now watching, I will go and I will get the author's attention so they can answer them immediately. So thanks everybody who came on to the show today and watched. John Boltman, Eric Goldman, and there was a few others. I wasn't able to see them. And thanks to all 6 people who shared the broadcast. And once again, Thanks for watching Marketing and Coffee.
Thank you,
Hey, Lovey.
everybody. I really appreciate your attendance today.
Bye. Hashtag support your author by leaving reviews. You can visit this author's book at the link above. Make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to receive our notifications.